Hi guys, in this demo I'll be going over how I created my simulation for the oral history conversion final project. Mine was created from Victoria's project about community organizing. So as you guys can see in my scene layout, I have the office scene, which was the template from Hyperskill. Most of these things in the scene were already in the template itself, like the chair, the desk, the computer. But I did go ahead and add some assets that were specific to my story or like the scene in general. Zooming in, I have this pillow that I added. It's just straight from Hyperskill's asset list. Oh, and as you can see, my spawn point is here. It's kind of hidden, but in order to set your spawn point, I would click other here and set spawn position. Then I can just click point and click again, and there you go. So as soon as I press play, I'll be in the POV of this person, and as you can see, he's facing forward. So his POV would look like this basically. But anyway, on my desk here, I've uploaded the pen and book, also straight from the asset list on the side. The schedule, same thing from Hyperskill, as well as these people. To get them, I would just go to virtual person instead. And there they all are. And then these posters that I have, AAYL posters. You can see this one is like a summer program. These are actually straight from, oh, and the email as well. So these are screenshots that I took. These AAYL ones being from our Instagram, and this being my actual inbox. Um, but in order to upload these specific assets, I actually had to create them in a 3D format because, since Hyperskill is a 3D platform, we can't just upload like a 2D image or like object, right? It has to be 3D. So what I did, I actually went to another website to convert it or like paste the screenshot onto a 3D plane and then imported it. So if you guys have something similar, and I only did this because I wanted it specific for community organizing, I really wanted to show that this was like a nonprofit or a space for communities. Otherwise, it would just look like a regular office, and the user might not know what they're doing and what their profession is really quickly. But if you guys have a similar use case or you really want to use an asset like a screenshot or like a poster like this, just let me know and then I can create the 3D asset for you. Don't worry too much, just send over the PNG and I'll make it for you. But okay, and then I do have another scene outside of the office. Typically, if you're using the office scene, you would stay inside the office space, but I did kind of want to go outside for mine. So I have this scene outside. Um, Again, I uploaded this by myself using a screenshot. The chairs are from Hyperskill, the people, the balloons, and the fences I actually got from Sketchfab. And something specific about the office space is that if you do try to go outside in the simulation, you'll just fall to the ground forever because there's no ground collision here. So I did actually have to use an invisible cube and kind of stretch it out to like match this dimension of the floor in order for the user to stand on it. But I'll go more into that more detail into that later. Typically, like you guys would be staying inside the office space, so no need to really worry about it unless you wanted to do something similar. Okay, so I'll go into my scenario flow now. Let me know if you guys have any questions on how I like set up or how I arranged my assets, but there is previous class contents where we can also refer back to for those. Okay, so my scenario flow, you guys can see I kind of have a lot going on at first glance. I have a lot of states and a lot of nodes, but all of my transitions are pretty basic. I have just a regular transition, and the only one I'm really using is use. So that would just be like on web right clicking on the object, and that's the use function. So before I go into like the details or of all of this, I'm just gonna play it first so we know what it looks like. Oh, and then yes, for this one, since I'm using the speak function, I have to turn my microphone on, or it won't work for your guys's or mine in this case. And then here are also the controls for web. I can use the arrow keys, WSD. All right, here we go. So, welcome to a day in life of a community organizer. This was, we went over this demo or setup in the class meeting like 2 weeks ago, so we all should have this screen. Next, I added this one here, explicitly stating that the user will hear quotes from the professionals' experiences, because in my simulation, I thought it was a little jarring when they would just like suddenly start talking out of nowhere. So I do alert the users early on. You guys can do something similar. If anything, I would recommend you guys doing this as well. But yeah, this is what I have. Next. So, and these are all display messages, as you can see. So open the case file. Begin the day by reviewing materials in the case file on the desk. Next, I have a highlight node. You can see that was highlighted. And this is the use function, where I would just right-click it with my mouse, or left-click. Oh yeah, left-click. Sorry. All right, and then that ding sound was the play audio with the bell chime. And then this is another display message of what the case file has, telling the user that they are a community organizer. So again, making it really clear what they are. And then I have my first highlight clip.
Americans have really hard self-confidence issues. And I think that that's actually due to a lot of intergenerational and migration-based traumas, where, you hear a lot that Asian American parents tell their kids to keep their head down, do your best, but they can be critical of our communities.
Okay, and then when I'm done, I can click X. This was Victoria's clip that she labeled the intro, and I do think it's fitting for the intro, or I specifically put it there as it kind of gives like a general overview about like the profession or things that this professional has noticed in general. Okay, and then moving on, listen to Sarah. One of the community members has come for advice. Let's listen carefully and empathize with her.
My son, he is struggling in school even when I tell him to study harder. Mrs. Nguyen said you could help. What can I do to better understand my son?
Alright, so that there was the speak node. All I did was enter some text. I selected a voice, and then in the simulation, they speak it out loud. And then this right here is the quiz node function. So how would you respond? And there is no right or wrong answer. So then I can click anything I want and then submit. Again, that bell chime sound and good response, display message. Okay. And we have someone else come in for advice.
My daughter wants to quit the math club. She says she doesn't belong there. I tell her to push through, but she won't listen to me anymore. I don't know how to reach her.
Alright, how would you respond again? You guys can read through it. I'm just going to move on for the sake of the demo. Okay, bell chime again, and then good response display message. And one last person has come for advice. This looks like she's a student.
I want to get more involved in the community, but my parents always say focus on school, don't worry about other things. I just feel like I want to do something. Do you have any advice on where to start?
And then again with the quiz. Now that I'm playing through it, I think I would change out the voice. It does sound like really AI, and also she's not wearing shoes, so I think I'll change that out too. But this is why it's pretty important to playtest as you go through, as you'll notice things that you didn't really notice when you were just in the scenario flow. Alright. And here's my next highlight clip.
I empathize a lot for my immigrant family, and I see my versions of my immigrant family like across the country and across the cities, and that's always something that has been close to my heart.
And I thought this one made sense here because after she talks to people in her community, she says that she's able to empathize with them and She sees versions of herself across, or her family across, like other people around the community. Okay, and then take a seat. You've been going all day, work matters, but so do you. Head to the chair behind you for a small break. So now the user can actually move around. Well, they were able to move around the whole time, but this one is actually asking them to. And here, this is the use function again. Left click to interact with the object. And the bell chime with my
And
third
Casey
highlight clip.
was not taking care of himself. We were, you know, we needed to get masks out to people. We needed to get COVID tests and vaccines out to people, things like that. And I think this is part of why I said like rest is what I would have prioritized. But the moment didn't really allow me to.
Yep, and then I included that one there as I thought it made sense because she was talking about rest and how she was so busy and overworked, and she really needed a moment to rest, but she didn't really have time to. So that's why I had the user clicking on the pillow when taking a seat. All right, log off the computer on the desk. That's all the clients for today. Community organizing is invisible work. Reflect on the memories that stuck with you. And when you're ready, touch the computer screen on the desk to log off. All right. So go back to the desk and here with my use function and the bell chime. And my fourth clip.
To sum up my job, I have no idea where I would even start. And so it is a little bit frustrating and at times I think challenging when my family is asking for like how they can talk about my job, but they don't understand the issues that I deal with, or they don't understand why I care about certain issues because they don't understand how those relate to the work I do.
Okay, and I thought that one kind of fit there as she's talking about kind of the challenges of her job, like after, maybe after the day ends, she's reflecting. And now head outside. Not everyone will understand why you do this work, so I'm trying to directly relate to the clip before, and that's okay. What matters is that you do. Your colleagues and community members are waiting outside. Celebrate your wins together. Touch the doorknob to head outside. All right, let's head to the doorknob. This is, again, a simple use function. I'm not really sure why the left click to interact with the object thing is up there, but here we go. And this one is my teleport user, or move user, sorry, to my outside scene. And here's my fifth clip.
I definitely recommend just like exploring what service means to you, like whether for everyone it's a little bit different, like whether you like to like physically give somebody something, whether it be like food or like a donation, whether you like to like help out a soup kitchen, like if that's something that you think is fulfilling. There's so many jobs out there that will give you that face-to-face client interaction, or whether you like being in the background.
Yep, and I thought this clip fit well as the conclusion, and Victoria had it listed as the conclusion as well, because it ends on a more positive note, talking about how everyone can go about service in a way that suits them. And that's why in this scene I have like the balloons like ending in a happy tone and some of the achievements that AAYL has been through. And finally, I have simulation complete. Thank you for cleaning the day in the life of the community organizer. You may exit the simulation to go back to the main room. So I can't force the users to leave. There's just like no way for me to do that. But from here, users can like, oh, maybe I'll back her up. Users can walk around. They can exit whenever they feel like. And yeah, let's see if I try jumping off of this. Yeah, I'll like fall forever. So, oh wait. Yeah, this is why I needed to put the invisible cube there. Okay. Now I will explain the scenario flow part.